So like I said, my name's Merkley. I had the pleasure of working with the brothers McRae on their first album. I believe that's why we're all here tonight. Thank you for coming out. And many thanks to the 1890 House and everybody, Sue and Megan and everybody else that works here for letting us host this party here. It's got to be one of the more special venues to hold a concert in, so we're all pretty psyched to be here, bouncing sound off these walls tonight. There's a new song that's called Tiny Little Squares. All those tiny little squares, smiles and sunsets, fires to forget. Tiny little squares of poses and postures, roses and rosters of friends, until the end. There's something about your eyes, looking back at me, making me believe I know you better than I do. And there's something about your smile, shining bright and white, makes me wonder if it's hiding something else behind those baby blues and those tiny little squares. With smiles and sunsets, fires to forget. Tiny little squares of poses and postures, roses and rosters of friends, until the end. And there's something about this night that makes me want to reach inside, pull out all my pride and give it back to you. There's something about that line that makes me want to cross it, throw out all my caution, riding on the truth. Talk a lot about your dreams, living love and family. A lot about desires, climbing higher and higher. A lot about your job, stepping stones and moving on. A lot about each day, makes me wonder about the things that you don't say. The things that you don't say. Those tiny little squares with smiles and sunsets, fires to forget. Tiny little squares of poses and postures, roses and rosters. Tiny little squares, smiles and sunsets, fires to forget. Tiny little squares, poses and postures, roses and rosters. Tiny little squares, smiles and sunsets, fires to forget. Tiny little squares of poses and postures, roses and rosters of friends, until the end. Thank you.